Stevens, and I am the new Executive Director of Open House Ministries. I've been at Open House Ministries in one way, shape, or form for the past 18 years. So back in '99, I was homeless with my children, and I graduated the Open House Ministries program, and I started to do a work experience. And in 2005, I was hired on as nighttime staff. And since then, I was the Community Resource Coordinator, then Case Manager, and then Lead Case Manager, and now I'm the new Executive Director. Here at Open House Ministries, we house up to 107 individuals at any given time, half of being children under the age of 18. We believe in a holistic approach, so our programs meet the needs of the homeless families in job training, life skills, education. We have chapel, and our program lasts, an average stay here is 9 months, but families can stay here for up to a year.
Open House Ministries began a little over 30 years ago. It was founded by Joanne and Bob Kendall, very concerned citizens in the community at that time. Joanne had been part of a Bible study group and other church groups that were concerned about homelessness, and frequently came to the downtown area. They were being approached by a new population of people, women with kids. And it turns out that these women were homeless. All they were approaching the ladies in the Bible study for were for formula and diapers for the babies. And that really moved Joanne's heart. They got permission to use the old jail that was now not being used, and at night used the jail cells with blankets in between them to bring in the homeless women and their kids so they had a place to stay. But that wasn't enough. It still laid heavily on Joanne and Bob's heart, and they decided to purchase a 10-room boarding house, which was on the property where we are today. And that was in 1986, and that's when Open House Ministries was born, with just 10 boarding rooms for single moms. Open House Ministries actually takes up a whole city block today. That wasn't the case, of course, when it was first founded, but over time that expanded next door to the original boarding house. And then I think after that came the acquisition of the Annex building. We call it the Annex, which is a building that is north and to the west on the city block, and that's where our thrift stores and our some of our programs happen. We have a couple of transitional apartments there. The board and the staff came together and looked at options for how we could better serve the homeless in our community, because that's always been the driver. How can we better do God's work here to help those in need? And that was when the idea was resurrected to take a look at that house that was on the property just right next door to the shelter. And could we possibly acquire it? Could we do something different with it? In the very last cold days of December of 2014, that building was demolished. It needed to come down. It was old, and there were a lot of other problems with it. Concurrently, as all those things were going on with the new building, we started looking at what this new facility would actually do and what it would contain. And the answer was pretty clear. Number one, a great room that can function in many different ways, as a recreational area for our families, as a gathering space for the neighborhood, for a place where we can actually have an all-house meeting. We can't do that today in the current shelter. We can't bring all the residents and all the staff into one place. We don't have the space. Also, bringing a new office space to the building was important to us, because today we have areas in our building that are being used by offices. They're residential apartments, but the residence apartments will then be able to be converted back to what we were originally permitted to do, and that's to house 36 different homeless families at any one time. We can't do that today. So this new building is going to give us a lot of flexibility in that sense. And we're excited because with that, there's also opportunity to have other collaborations with many of our existing community partners who are also serving the homeless community.
So the community's always been a great advocate for Open House Ministries, always been involved, and we are thinking, how can we outreach into our community? And this Family Resource Center is a spectacular way that we can do that. So when we think about homelessness, we want to be proactive, not reactive. We're really do well at reactive, but we want to reach out into our community and help those who are suffering with mental health, drug and alcohol, barely making their house payments. So we offer financial peace classes, life skills, GED, education, and we want to offer that to our community at large. So you don't have to be homeless to be a part of our new facility, even when what we're doing is giving God all the glory and all the blessing, as we can always be doing better for our families and for our community, for our staff, for anybody who volunteers here or walks by that need a sleeping bag or a drink of water, a cup of coffee. We need to be doing God's work and meet people right where they're at.